What up, nerds? Put down those pencils and put up those commission prices because we have an extremely normal episode about fine art on the web today. You guys are listening to Super Despair World, rated the most big and round podcast on the internet for 2 years in a row now. This is a completely original podcast, so do not steal, do not thumbs down, and do not fuck with us in the comments because we will make fun of all your weird little playlists on your YouTube account. Dave, let's keep the plugs short and sweet today because we got a special little surprise for everybody.
Yeah. So we have a Patreon, patreon.com/superdespairworld. For only $2, you can join our Discord with the coolest people in the world in it, guaranteed or your money back. For a sinister $6, you can get access to our bonus episodes, which are great, greater than anything you've ever heard in your life. So get involved in that, and your parents will finally love you again.
Yeah, and don't forget, I think at the time that this goes up, we're going to have a little tip jar tier as well. So if you want to support the show, but $6 is a big ask, just get the little tip jar tier, and you can join us in the Discord whenever. Anyway, big surprise today. I say that as if you guys can't read the fucking YouTube episode title. But anyway, it's been a while since one of these. We got a guest on today. John, how about you introduce yourself to our audience?
Hey guys, I'm John Woodcat. I make some, I guess you could call them video essays on YouTube. I don't know. They're not nearly as long as like an actual video essay. You know, they're no H-Bomber guy video or anything. But yeah, I like to make videos about little oddities.
We can't all compare ourselves to his lordship, Harris Burger Man or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I mean, do they need to be long? Nobody has an attention span anymore.
I don't know the formal definition of video essay, but I know that mine are definitely not that long, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a little surreal hearing you talk here in the voice call, as I was saying a few minutes ago, because I was just watching your stuff a few minutes before we recorded, and a lot of the stuff you do is I don't know if there's like a special like term for the genre or anything, but I'm really big into all these like video essay channels that cover like, here's all these like really weird or like creepy and disturbing things on the internet over the years. There's a lot of people doing that, but I really enjoy the thoroughness of which you cover some topics, some of which are thoroughly interesting to me in spite of how weird they are, like a certain British guy who really likes monarchy.
Cybersmith, human pet guy. It's not my position to invite him on the podcast to defend himself.
Let me tell you, we have so many convos off air about like who would be a cool guest to bring on the show, and I think, man, I would feel really conflicted about Cybersmith because it's like, one, he would be very interesting and very funny, but two, it's like I feel like I would need to like do the spiritual equivalent of washing my hands afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, light a bit of incense or something like that.
I'd have him on.
Yeah, I don't know. I would.
Cybersmith, if you're listening to this, you're welcome to be a guest at any time.
Yeah, just message Dave. Don't message me. I think you'll be weird to me. But anyway.
yeah. Dave at superdespairworld.com. I'll be your audience.
Yeah, all the weird kinks and fetishes. You know, I can put up with that. But also, like, he's British, so like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, that's a big problem. But we'll make an exception.
Yeah, I don't know. This podcast would be an excellent place for the sun to finally set on the British Empire.
It'll be the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway, I thought maybe to get into the mood, to warm us up for today, I thought I would ask John. You don't have to tell us how old you are, but I was wondering, given our general adult disposition here, what are some of your like earliest memories of like being on the internet, and like what kind of websites were you on when you were younger? Because maybe that'll be a little formative thing for today.
Oh yeah, I'm really gonna show my age. Yeah, YouTube was a thing when I first learned to use the internet, so that would have been when I was like 4 or 5. Yeah, I was. No, oh, yeah, wow. I'm only 20 years old. I'm relatively young compared to the broader, like, you know, YouTuber space. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna sit down and learn some things today because Dave and I are both. I'm in my early 30s. Dave is a bit older than me, and man, sometimes I look back on like the history of being on the internet, and I feel like one of those elves in a fantasy novel that remembers like what the world was like before the age of men came and like ruined all the forests and stuff. Like, man, life was so good at some point.
See, that's the thing is like I was on the internet like pretty early relatively, but if I was on the internet when I was 4, it would have been like dial-up bulletin board system shit. So that's interesting to be that young and like YouTube was already a thing. Obviously, I'm sure like the early days of YouTube before it completely turned into what it is now. And we love YouTube, by the way. YouTube, you're great. You're awesome. To check us out on
Dave's
YouTube,
words, not mine.
hey, we have to serve the Overlord. Blood to the blood god or whatever the
Yeah, you're such a
the
real
is.
Warhammer fan right now, Dave. We're really gonna win back that demographic.
yeah. All it takes is one sentence.
But yeah, so I'm not really great at math. What do you remember YouTube being like back then, John?
Back then I didn't really I didn't have a expanded taste of YouTube. I watched the same few videos like over and over again. There's like that one video of like the hippo singing "Lion Sleeps Tonight," or that one OK Go video with the treadmills. Oh, that was really cool.
Okay, that song was actually kind of a banger back then, though. I really liked that video.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I remember some of my earliest memories of YouTube. I think I was in like the computer lab in my middle school. In my middle school computer lab, right? And back then, YouTube was like, oh, everybody goes to laugh at like a funny 2-minute video that some people recorded like in their apartment or whatever. One story I always like to tell is, do you guys remember the fucking Numa guy, the person like jamming out to the fucking Moldovan / Romanian like pop music or whatever?
Yeah, that was great.
That one was.
Great.
That one was really funny for me because, like, before it went viral, I come from a Romanian immigrant family, so like I was just used to that song being like, oh yeah, that's just one of the pop songs my mom blasts in the car every time we go to like Walmart or something. So I just did not get at the time, like, why is everybody like so hip with my mom's favorite pop music right now?
Yeah, there was also I think after that, the video with the guy kind of went viral. There was like I think it was like a Newgrounds Flash animation thing as well, and it was like it was somebody's conception of like what the lyrics sounded like in English, and it was pretty funny. But you don't really see that kind of thing so much anymore. I mean, this is an old man yells at cloud moment, but those were the days. Those were the days that people would make shit and put it online just kind of for the love of the game, instead of like a cynical attempt to like blow up and be a quote unquote YouTuber or make money. Which I'm not saying that's like a degenerate, because obviously we're all doing things online now.
None of us are doing that for sure.
You're never gonna find out.
Yeah, we're only doing
exactly.
Yeah, we're just doing this for our own.
That would just be like utterly repugnant and like disgusting. Patreon.com/superdespairworld.
Yeah, I hate money. I'm against it. So yeah, don't give us money. Actually, no, give us money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
take it all back.
And give John money as well. I thought I would ask. So this is a surprise to me. I thought you were going to be a little bit older, but you know what? That's fine. So I wanted to ask: is this one of like the first big like creative things you've kind of put out there onto the internet, or do you have any like funny, embarrassing things from when you were a teenager?
Okay, so that's kind of yeah. So I
no pressure to share if you don't want
feel...
to. It's just Go for it.
I don't feel pressured to share. I'm just thinking of like, how do I want to phrase this? So you know how like YouTube was basically a thing through like my whole like consciousness. So obviously at one point, you know, I started uploading videos to YouTube when I was maybe like 7 or 8 with like my little brother, you know, playing with like our dog. And you know, I think all those videos are still up, just on a channel that you know, maybe I'll let people know what that channel is called so they can search it up when I'm a little more of a public person. But
Yeah.
Make that a special Patreon tier. Pro tip from these business insiders.
Oh yeah, you know, that's the super Patreon tier, the link to the channel I had when I was like 8 years old.
Actually, no, I take that back. Now that I think about it, I think that might attract a sort of unsavory audience.
That's not good. Well, then I could.
Yeah, I think maybe this will be a lesson we cover later in the episode. But guys, don't pay money for things related to children on the internet today. Sonic says that's no good.
I just paid $200 a month for videos of this YouTuber I watched when he was a kid. How cool is that?
I have a few notes laid out for today, and some of them are talking about like weird commissioners for art and other creative works on the internet. And I gotta say, man, $200, that's way on the low end. I have some much bigger numbers than that. We gotta pump those numbers up.
5,000.
Yeah, join the $10,000 tier, and yeah. And then just give me a list of names.
Yeah,
actually, that's a bit low for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say some of the earliest stuff I got up to on the internet back then. You know, back when it was like innocent and pure and not full of weirdos making strange YouTube documentaries. I remember I was in either elementary or middle school, and I was really big into like indie game dev through like fucking like RPG Maker 2000, and it's like, man, those were the days. I made so many like garbage little like completely unplayable games with like default ass graphics or whatever back then. And I remember, man, for most of my life, right, because I was born in 93, and I remember I was on the internet basically like unsupervised since 98, and I feel like for most of my life, and this has really fucked with me, I'm just used to always being like the youngest person in every like online space I join, and now I'm 31, so that hasn't been the case for like quite a while, and I don't know, it just really messed with my perception of time and like my place online.
Yeah, I had the same experience, actually, because I mean, I was, like, terminally online when I was, I don't know, maybe, like, early high school or something, and I was in, like, IRC chats with a bunch of, like, 28-year-olds, and they were like, holy shit, like, whatever. Like, that's cool. We thought you were older, but you can still stay here, I guess. But, yeah. Nobody was weird. At least, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I have some fun memories of like just meeting people in like online games or whatever. I think I was playing fucking Ragnarok Online, a very grindy Korean MMORPG back then, and I was hanging out with a lot of people who were like, I don't know. There was this like one girl probably that I met, and she was like, "Yeah, me and my sister are like runaway kids, and I went through all this like fucked up shit, and now I'm like obsessed with like sex and stuff, and also I've killed a person. Anyway, do you want to go run some dungeons or something?" And like that was just my experience for so many years.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's run some dungeons. Anyways, who'd you kill?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't ask back then. I was like, wow, that's really cool. This person is, I can't believe they're talking to me, fucking like Timmy, little Timmy, back then on the internet.
A real life murderer. That's how you know you're a woman, because you love true crime.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe, I don't know. We all expose ourselves to things we don't want to see on the internet sometimes.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get right into the main topic today. I thought I was going to do a little segue here, talking about making stuff. DeviantArt. How familiar are both of you with DeviantArt? Because I feel like, okay, I'm a person who like I draw things sometimes for money, sometimes for the podcast, which doesn't make a lot of money, but that's okay. So I know a lot about it, but what's the perception of DeviantArt to both of you guys?
Well, I'll field this one first, I guess. I do remember DeviantArt from the early-ish days of the online space. I mean, it's shit. Like I wasn't on it that much, but yeah, it was, from what I remember, a place where people would make art and then share it. And I think there were forums as well, which were probably filled with deranged people, as forums.
There are still forums today.
Are there
Yes.
still forums? Are they insane? Are they crazy?
I don't know. I haven't looked. I've been told it's a good place to get commissions, but I am not seeking that out at the moment.
All right, but well. Anyway, John, what's your experience with DeviantArt?
I haven't gone on it like that much per se. You know, what I do like to go on there for is to see, like, it's gonna sound like really like almost cruel, but it's kind of funny to like go and watch on DeviantArt, like, and I guess search for, I guess, like the fan art of like kids shows that are obviously made by kids who like have like some shit going on, or have some sort of complex.
I'm gonna ask you to elaborate on some shit going on.
Okay, some shit going on. Like maybe someone close to them is like experiencing some kind of like a domestic abuse or something like that. Because I'll see some stuff, or maybe I'm armchair psychoanalyzing this art too much, or where I'll see shit where it's like the like characters from the Loud House, that cartoon, and they're like having like these really like heavy disputes, or like they're like dying and shit. And I'm just like, and they're obviously made by someone who's either inexperienced or just young, and it makes me wonder like what's going on here to inspire them to make art like this of such an innocent property.
Yeah, I mean, that reminds me of like the Chris Chan Sonichu thing, where I mean, everybody's favorite lolcow or whatever. But yeah, like any type of crisis in her life was like just put into Sonichu form. So it was just a very open, like, I don't know, I guess like a Rorschach test, in a sense of I mean, I guess it is armchair psychoanalyzing, but it's pretty apparent in a lot of instances that somebody's thinking about some shit.
Yeah, I have a fun little factoid from my notes. This is not going to be a Chris Chan episode by any means, but apparently Chris Chan was a member of DeviantArt 3 separate times in 2005, 8, and 9, and every single time she got banned for posting porn.
Oh.
Yeah, that makes
sense. I was going to say, it reminds me, John, have you ever done the game where you search up your name, the Hedgehog?
Yes, I have. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was just searching John the Hedgehog myself, and I mean, I guess it makes sense since your name is John. There are so many of those. Whenever I look for my name, Briar the Hedgehog, I think there's like one or two, and one of the results is just like a Facebook page for like a real life hedgehog that's just like the owner takes cute pictures of their pet for like Facebook or whatever. So I thought that was incredibly funny. The whole edgy. Actually, you go first, Dave.
I've never done this before, and there are some real bangers here. All right, the first, I got you post the you look at the first one, right? Is that the
I think you take the first one. I guess, I don't know, I have a bit less of a common name, so my results were a lot more mixed, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this was the one. I'll drop it. I'll drop it in our group chat. This is it. This is number one.
Sweet.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's pretty normal. It's pretty normal. I'm a little bit disappointed, honestly. I wanted like a pregnant
No,
David
I think
Sonic.
I don't know. I think this is like a nice little like YouTube icon, like some Nathaniel Bandy type stuff.
It looks a little Ransona-esque.
Yeah.
I gotta say, you guys think this looks pretty normal, but I'm just thinking here, like, the fact that he's wearing like a shirt and pants only draws attention to how all the other like Sonic OCs are like naked or whatever. And it's like, why is that?
Yeah, I'm gonna use that as my Ransona and just make like deranged YouTube videos that are like, why we should like bring back slavery.
Oh,
I've been tempted to do a little Ransona thing, maybe for like an April Fool's joke someday, but I feel like I would only get like halfway through drawing that before I want to like turn the iPad stylus like towards my neck or something.
you know, you should you should draw your like little persona just like doing the DreamWorks face with like the arms crossed.
Oh yeah, gotta hit all the really like annoying smug like I'm the cynical reviewer type of poses there.
Yeah, I mean that's an art idea, possibly, is just all of our Sonic the Hedgehog Rantsonas with the finger up, you know, just explaining things that we know.
Yeah, if the current podcast doesn't work out for whatever reason, we'll start up a new thing like the angry podcast nerds, and we'll talk about all the shitty podcasts that suck ass, and we'll be like very angry and say mean words.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah. So, I posted another thing in the DM. Possibly that could be that's a classic.
I recognize Cothrix. I don't know these other three.
I know the one on the right. I don't know his name, but he's the same one who is like, he has this picture that's like, this is the last thing many atheists see before they lose a debate epic style. And he has like the big like, he has like the Warhammer like Space Marine armor and a big hammer that says like logic or something.
Is that an ANCAP flag on his chest?
Yes, it is. You bet it is.
Have you done a video on Rantsonas, John? I think that would be a good one.
Oh, here we go. I think I found it. Anyway, maybe this will be more of a visual episode than we planned. The last sight of many a commie. He's just got a big logic hammer.
Wow. Yeah. That hammer will destroy any Christians or people who just don't really, you know, they can't really.
Yeah, all the woke DEI libtards blown the fuck out by this colorful character.
Yeah, it's done. It's done. It's over for them.
Yeah, I was gonna bring this up earlier at the mention of like these edgy original characters. One of my favorite ones of all time. I'm not gonna read it out because there's way too many words here, but it reminded me of Cold Steel the Hedgehog, and he goes, Psh, "Nothing personnel, kid." And I if I remember right, I'm not gonna zoom in to read it. It was something like, he likes listening to Nine Inch Nails and owning all the hip preppy kids at school. Leave me alone, mom, or something like that.
Yeah, the irony of that situation is that Trent Reznor is from what I understand actually pretty chill. He's not like
he's chilled out now. I will say 9 Inch Nails back then, before he did all his like soundtrack stuff, he was a lot more edgy back then. So
yeah, well, musically, but I don't think he was ever like
I think it's one of those like Stephen King sort of situations where like the height of his career, he was just like coked out all the time, and then he stopped doing that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. You know, you have to reach the pinnacle of your creative career at some point, and you have to be coked out. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, maybe that'll be the secret to success on YouTube for all of us.
Yeah. Anyway, donate to our Patreon so I can hit that. That point in my creative career.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. The whole OC thing is very funny. So I'm like pretty plugged into like the whole world of art and illustration on the internet. And I think one of the big things about DeviantArt, right, is that it's kind of like one of the like kiddie pools of like creativity. And maybe that sounds really condescending, but it's like, you know, you go on the internet today and most everybody is like, okay, everybody's out here to make money. Everything has to be like professionally produced or whatever. Like, you're not going to succeed on YouTube making the kind of YouTube videos that blew up back in like 2010 or something like that. And I feel like the whole like original character thing is, there are a lot of people who do art just because it's like, oh, I just really like this franchise and I want to make like fan art of it or something. Or like, oh, I feel really creative, but like I haven't come up with my own stuff yet. I just know like the media I watch, so I want to do something related to that. And like, it's kind of fine, but I feel like, I don't know, the longer people spend in places like that, it's kind of like very like amateurish, right? And I think there's something about like when you make stuff on the internet, you have to learn to like, I don't know, be a little more mature and professional and grow up a little bit and move on to different platforms. And I think, as we're going to see today, a lot of the weirdness of DeviantArt just comes down to the fact that, like, yeah, it was one of the original art websites, and most of the people on there were, like, very, very weird and confused, and maybe, I don't know, I don't want to sound too condescending. They were kids. This is a website where we are looking at the artwork of very strange children on the internet from, like, the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they need a place to express themselves, you know. With Sonic
OCs.
Sonic fan art. Yeah, Sonic OCs.
Y'all ever see Blood Edge the Griffin?
This sounds familiar, but it's not painting a picture in my head. Have you got the image?
Yep.
Oh god. Oh. Yeah, the fucking Family Guy thing, wearing the cool jacket from Trigun, the early 2000s anime.
Wow. His finisher is blood decapitate. I mean, there's no defense against that.
Quote, meh, listens to Joe Rogan. I think that hasn't aged super well.
Yeah. Favorite band's Corn System of a Down, Shine Down. Yes. Yep. Friends Stewie, Brian, Herbert, Club Penguin,
and Goku.
Oh, these are so good. I'm a big fan of these. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of people out there, both who make like art like this just for fun, for the hell of it, but also like sometimes it's ironic and I can't really tell. Not keeping things like strictly limited to DeviantArt. I've already inflicted this on Dave. John, are you familiar with Thomas Jefferson Miku Binder?
What?
Thomas Jefferson Miku Binder. I know it sounds like I'm incanting a spell when I say those words very quickly, but
you're just putting words together. What is that, and what is that?
Oh god. Okay, maybe you've seen it before and just don't know the name. Thomas Jefferson Miku Binder was so are you familiar with the stage play Hamilton?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hamilton, the big like historical musical, except it's like cool and we're like liberal rappers or whatever. Mm-hmm. There was a fandom built around Hamilton on Tumblr.com, which is another of those like kind of kiddie pool sort of websites where you have a lot of creative people like making some stuff, and it's like it's a very mixed bag. Let's see, I can't get... Okay, this is high-res enough. So Thomas Jefferson Miku Binder is somebody did fan art of Thomas Jefferson from the Hamilton musical, except he's like a woke liberal hipster or whatever. He's got like the big poofy hair. He's got a t-shirt that says, "I met God, she's black." He's wearing like a trans mask like chest binder with like Hatsune Miku faces as the pattern. And there's just so much here. We riffed on this in a bonus episode, but there you go. Now you know.
Okay, you know, I have seen this before. I didn't know. I saw this like, I don't know, probably like around the time it came out as like a meme. I haven't seen it since. So now I know what it's called.
you say it's a meme, but I regret to inform you, the person who made this was being completely sincere and unironic.
Sure.
This was a labor of love.
I'm sure this was a labor of love, but I'm sure the context which I was seeing it posted was to like riff on it.
Yeah, there we go. Exactly. Oh man, I'm just looking at some of the related images on Google, and somebody made a similar thing to this, except it's the politics streamer Ian Vosh Kaczynski. We don't need to look at that. I feel a little dirty for just knowing this exists.
There's a Miku binder OC for Vosh.
Yeah, there we go. Actually, fuck it. I brought it up. We may as well put it in the chat now.
Yeah,
it's not very original. It's mostly riffing on the same thing, but his persona is a sparkle horse. Okay, all right,
wow.
I'm done.
I mean, of course.
I found one that's JFK, and I like that they all have some Japanese as the language, because it's just so accurate. They know 4 phrases, most of which are like sugoi and hentai.
There's a very popular quote, I guess tweet, whatever, from one of my favorite people on the internet, House of Decline, where it went something like, you need to have the right amount of anime in your life to be on the internet. Like too much is bad, but also too little is also not good either. It went something like that, and I feel like a lot of these like Tumblr, I'm just a cool, quirky, queer person. All of them have just like a little hint of anime, but I think not enough to like, I don't know. It's just it's like the fashionably late statement about like how much anime you watch, and I don't know where I'm going with this.
Yeah. The dose makes the poison, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. So a little bit of anime, but too much, and you're done. You're done for.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so there are a lot of people making some very funny, very bizarre art out there. I have a few people, as I mentioned earlier, who commission artwork as well. Who they can be just as funny and interesting characters themselves. I want you guys to maybe put some guesses out here. What are some of the bigger price tags you might think I'm gonna bring up for some weird art commissioned today?
Like money. Like how much they charge?
Yeah, price tags. Like what are some of the higher dollar amounts you think people have paid for artwork on the internet?
I'd say like, you mean like on DeviantArt?
Just in general.
Or just in general, I'd say like 300 to 500 US nuggets.
Okay.
All right. That's probably the upper tier, right?
All right, sure. What do you think,
Maybe?
John?
1,000.
Okay, both of you are you sweet summer children. There was one incident which I don't have all the details here, but there was a fursuit that got sold in a bid for like $20,000.
Well, that's a physical piece.
A fursuit, I'm not surprised.
That's a physical.
All right. To be fair, as I understand, fursuits are like very expensive because one, it's basically like a full on fucking like mascot costume, and I know some of them are like very high tech with like wiggling ears and tails, and like they have a built in like air conditioner in the head or whatever. The $20,000 fursuit commission was apparently there was like a big furry auction or whatever. And the person who bought this was like, yeah, I was on some new medication and I was on like a manic episode when I put down $20,000 for this.
They just cleaned out their entire bank account just to rock a fursuit. I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's I've seen there are some companies out there that do like designer fursuits where like maybe we'll save this for a Trash Bins episode. There was like a Japanese company, I want to say, that did these designer fursuits where they still retain all the rights to the character, and it's basically like a mascot costume that you can wear, but you have to like sign all these like contracts, like you will not pose this character doing like bad things or whatever, and it's just like insane to me.
I mean, if it gives you a discount, it's fine. I'm not gonna. I won't deface this character.
Right. Either way, I don't know. If a fursuit doesn't count, I do have a piece of like two-dimensional visual art that has a higher price tag. Do you guys want to put out a second guess
higher
for this?
than 20,000?
Yeah. Do you want to put out a second number
whoa.
before I say this?
50,000.
Did you say 50?
Yeah. All right. 100 G's for Pixar quality Sonichu. That's what I'm predicting that.
Okay.
I'm betting the farm.
I really respect that. Dave, you have overshot it. That would be pretty fresh. Have either of you heard about this? Was just like a few years ago. I don't know the passage of time. Somebody paid $50,000 exactly. You were right, John. For it was a roughly 3-minute fan animation. It was like a full-on animated music video of a has-been hotel character, like a cute girl from that show.
Oh, yes.
It was like softcore porn, and like the character was creeping up on this dude. Have you guys seen this?
I've seen that. Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. What
So
was that called?
the guy, his name was Verbal Ace, Verbal ASE, whatever. I don't know this guy. I think he's like a cartoon YouTuber or something. And I guess he was big into Has Been Hotel, and he commissioned this it was like fully like the same animation quality as the show, as far as I know. I don't watch it or anything, but it was like full on music video where the girl would she seduced his like persona character and led him to a bed or something. Not actually like properly not safe for work or porn or anything. Somebody did the math on this, and they broke down the video, and it worked out to about like $286 per second, which is just insane to me.
I mean, so I'm watching this right now, and like the animation quality is good. I don't know if it's like if it's worth all that.
I think it might be if it's like a single person, because I know animation is really fucking hard, so who knows.
Animation is really hard and it's expensive, but like even like professional animated series, does it cost that much per 3 minutes? I don't know. I don't.
That is a good
know.
question. That I don't know. I mean, I guess it's like also a music video as well, so you also have to like compose music or something. But I don't know. Unless it's just a song from the show, I have no idea.
I mean, it's. I think this is a good thing. You're somebody is financing these talented and skilled animators. Because times are tough out there.
I mean, I certainly wouldn't complain if somebody threw a commission like that my way. But
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's better. I'd rather animators be working on this than the new norm.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. I think we've gotten more content for our show out of the new norm than this, but regardless.
Yeah, I'm fine that they get paid for the new norm as well. It's probably like a Korean animation studio, and they need to get their bag. God damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, thank God for Elon Musk and his shitpost memes.
Yeah, man. Yep. So when they do the "Thank God for Elon Musk" and it's like a shitty like country song, I'm pretty sure that song was like AI as well. I don't know AI audio as well, but I'm now convinced it was, because like just 2 or 3 days ago, my mom, and I don't want to throw her under the bus, but God bless her. She watches a lot of like dumb shit on YouTube and TikTok or whatever. And it was just like 2 days ago, she's like, "Hey, check out this cool video I found. It's like country music about Romania." And it was like the exact same fucking like shitty like guitar twang from the new norm, except the lyrics were like Chat GPT, "Oh, Romania is so cool." And it was like, man, I just had to put on a brave face and like listen to that for like 2 minutes. Like, yeah, that's really cool, Mom. Thanks for sharing.
That's insane. That's insane. I could never. I did not have the heart to tell her, somebody typed a prompt and generated this in like 5 minutes.
It'd be hard for me not to laugh because I'd just be thinking of the new norm.
Yeah, it's not the same as the old norm.
Speaking of AI, I pulled up DeviantArt because I haven't been on this website in a while, and I was gonna ask, is DeviantArt like so many other platforms inundated with AI slop? And then I look at the nav bar at the top, and there is a link for DreamUp AI art.
Mm-hmm.
And when you pop that bad boy open, you can just create AI generated art with DreamUp.
Yeah. DeviantArt has had a real like fall from grace. I know they also had a thing where like they were using some people's art as like NFTs or some shit, and like there's a big reason why a lot of people have just like abandoned it for like a platform to host their art, and they've moved on to greener pastures.
Yeah, I wonder where DreamUp AI generated art trains its algorithm on when it's in the nav bar of DeviantArt. That's a big curiosity.
It just works. Just like Todd Howard, it just works.
Don't think about it. It just works. It just works. It's the future of art. Why paint? Why draw? Why 3D model? Why do anything when the computer can do it for you?
I wonder, because it's trained on like DeviantArt assets or whatever, it's just like a Mid Journey, but it just puts out like shitty like multicolored hedgehogs or whatever.
Yeah. I wonder how this like skews towards like Sonichu OC fan.
Oh shit! I don't even have to make an account to use this. I'm gonna type in Dave the Hedgehog. See what it.
No, you.
Yeah,
do.
let's see what. Let's
you
see what.
do.
It, oh, join DeviantArt. Fuck it.
Yeah. I typed in pregnant Sonic and it asked me to.
Do I want to continue with my Google account? I don't know. Is this worth it? Are people gonna roast me for doing this like mid-episode?
I mean,
John, this is in your hands.
Bit.
What am I doing here?
It's for the bit. You gotta do it.
It's for the bit. I gotta do it. Okay. You have more YouTube subs than we do, so who am I to question your judgment? I'm gonna do this on a throwaway account. No, I pay my taxes on that one. This works. Okay. Fuck it. Let's see. This account was originally created with an okay, I think I might have signed up for DeviantArt like 8 years ago or some shit and just not used it. Whatever.
All right, I'm on it. I signed in. I typed in John Woodcat pregnant Sonic. So
Okay.
So it's the loading time is 60 seconds, so I'm waiting with bated breath. I think this is probably gonna be the greatest art ever.
I'm sure it's really
by-
gonna lead us on a mid journey to some real pile of grok.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the best one out of here. This is what we got here.
Oh wow.
This is it.
All right.
John, does it speak to you?
It kind of reminds me of Sonic Generations, not gonna lie.
Yeah, because there's two of them.
Except Big Sonic is wearing like a hat, and also his right arm is fucked up. But you know, you can't.
He's got like a
too picky.
little like Sherlock Holmes hat. He's like a detective.
Yeah.
Yeah. His arm and the little Sonic's arm are like one.
I do need to think of how I'm going to draw you for the episode cover for this one. So maybe this will be in the maybe pile, John. I'll think about it.
Yeah, you know, it's fine to use AI as like a, you know, like as just a basis for ideas.
Yeah, a base.
You said that, not me.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not to go on a huge tangent about this. Obviously, you know, I'm as against AI as the next person. I think it's terrible, and I think it just gets even worse over time. But at the same time, I feel like I see a lot of people post like, "Oh, here's like AI is bad. Don't use AI." Like whatever little public service messages on Bluesky or something. And I just worry like, Yeah, AI is bad, but I also feel like a lot of people are just like really eager to find like somebody who's ever used AI to do like one thing and just like yell at them as if, you know, that's like a good way to like affect change or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, it feels more like a moral superiority kind of complex with that. Yeah, listen, I'm not a huge fan of the AI stuff. I mean, okay, yeah, I'll just say it. Like, I'm in college now. I was studying computer science, but now I see zero future in the industry, so I'm not studying that anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, trust me when I say I have my gripes with AI. But my point is, there's definitely some shit I'll see, like maybe like an AI image will go viral, or like an AI video will go viral, and then you've always got someone going like, oh, so everyone's all fuck AI until it's something you find funny. But it just feels like a cry to feel morally superior, when I really don't think the people sharing those AI memes were ever like fuck AI people. It's like you're conflating two groups here.
Yeah, of course, and that's the only, like, I think valid use for AI image generation is like making bullshit memes, because I've always had a deep respect for people who probably spent like an hour photoshopping some like ridiculous meme image together, but it's like with that it's not really art, it's just like silly and stupid. So yeah, like why not use AI?
I'm just conflicted because like one of my big hobbies, right, is I'm big into like tabletop games like D&D and shit, and people are always having this conversation about like, oh, can I use like Midjourney to make a portrait for an NPC or something? What if I just need like a generic like orc barbarian or something? And like, one, I guess I really don't give that much of a shit if it's like, okay, you did it like one time for like a throwaway thing for a game to play for a few hours with your friends or whatever. I don't know, it seems like a dumb battle to fight for me. But also at the same time, I'm like, it's fucking Dungeons and Dragons. You're telling me you can't find just like a generic orc picture on the internet to use instead?
That's exactly
just
the
a waste
thing,
of money.
is like it's filling a niche of making like generic slop stock art, which like that's existed before. Go on Shutterstock or Adobe Stock or any of these other sites. You'll find whatever you're looking for that somebody actually made, and they'll actually be like paid for this, I guess, and they don't need to like build a nuclear power plant to have somebody like
to make pregnant
these,
Sonic
like,
porn.
dog shit images.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, so I typed in British human furniture Cybersmith pregnant Sonic, and
oh no,
and these are these are all right. I'll drop the maybe
what?
the funniest one.
Where's Cybersmith?
Yeah, where's Cybersmith?
Is that woman like hospitalized or something? What is the setting here? Does Mini Sonic have like a broken leg?
They're in their plantation house just with their children. The two
is this
Sonics.
is this like an anime like Colonel Sanders or something?
Yeah. This man is one with the bed, and this woman is one with the blanket. It's amazing.
Yeah. I like that his other leg looks like a butt plug.
There's just like a huge like butt plug shaped mass like between his legs. I think it was trying to generate like it doesn't know where the blanket ends and his like coat shirt whatever begins. I don't know.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, that really groks my shit.
Oh wait, I didn't choose the art style. All right, I'm gonna do this again, but okay. So
I gotta say before we
anime.
continue, Dave, this is really bad for the environment. I have to like break into my neighbor's house and just like turn off their breaker for a day because of this in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
To make up for it,
I'm gonna do that as well.
I'll switch to the coal stove tonight.
We got anime, anthro, photographic, fantasy, vaporwave, low poly, origami, line art, clay, cinematic, 3D model, and pixel art. So there's just so many.
Oh,
so
I thought
many.
I want to see if
selecting all of them.
cinematic. I want to see if cinematic gives
Yeah.
you like the shitty like 3D movie Sonic. That would just make my day.
Yeah, I'm with that. Yeah.
I'm already feeling
wanna
some
see it
dread,
as
by
well.
the way, because like every week on Blue Sky, I see people make like all caps posts like, "Don't use AI, not even for a funny meme." I'm like, okay, whatever, dog.
Is Blue Sky very pre-Elon Twitter?
It's very, I don't know. So okay, here's my bias, right? The only people I really follow on Blue Sky are like people who work in either like tabletop games or like other artists, right? So it does skew like very, very progressive, kind of left leaning. And you know, again, like I said, I'm all against AI or whatever. I just think I don't really give a shit that much if people are like generating one thing like to make fun of it or whatever. I don't know. This show has like 200 listeners. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm good because my opinion at the end of the day is that Mark Zuckerberg should be tried at the Hague. So I don't know. That's my end goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've used AI like for one video on my channel, and that was like the first video I ever made. So like literally at 0 subs was the Fortnite video, because like, you know, I'm not gonna 3D model some like scary Fortnite characters. Like, I don't know anything about 3D modeling, and it's also like a meme.
Right, exactly.
Right. And that's And that I don't have a problem with that. It's the annoying thing is when people are like, "Oh, no, this is exactly the same as like painting a picture."
That's true.
It's just the future of this.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
are you
no, the
talking
machine
about? Like,
learns
no.
just like a real artist would. Me as I stuff like a printouts of 50,000 images straight down into my mouth at a time.
Yeah, I don't think it's always like a good substitute. It's rarely like a good substitute. But if you're like visualizing like a stupid Fortnite story, I think it's like okay. But if you're I don't know making like America's Got Talent clips entirely out of AI, like let's
I don't think
chill
I've
out
seen
a
any
bit.
of those
Yeah.
yet, but I feel like it's only a matter of time, because another of the types of videos that my mom loves to show me on her little phone are the like not quite America's Got Talent or like American Idol things, but the like knockoff versions of those shows from like Uzbekistan or some shit, and she'll be like, "Oh, hey, come check this out. Look at this 12-year-old. She's really good at the piano," or something. This is not what my mom sounds like, by the way, but it's the same sentiment, right? I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool, Mom. I'm sure that kid just really loves the piano and wasn't like abused into being good at it at all or something." Yeah. Anyway, I have some other funny stories about wild characters on DeviantArt if we want to continue, or did you have any more entire trees to burn down for little jokes, Dave?
Well, yeah. Okay, so here's the last thing. I did click cinematic, and the prompt was Cybersmith British human furniture pregnant Sonic, and this is what it gave me.
What? What the hell is that? Is this like Force found Sargon of Akkad or something like that?
I guess. I also like how the pregnant woman, like out of focus in the background, she looks like the Akira, like
Akira.
There's just like a demon. There's just like a demon, like.
I was gonna
It's
say she
great.
looks like one of those like zombies in a video game where like you shoot them and then they explode into like 10 other smaller zombies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is cool, man. AI art is awesome. Thanks, DreamUp, for giving us a couple laughs at the expense of like an acre of the rainforest.
Yeah, this acre of the Amazon is dedicated just to you guys, the beloved audience here.
Yeah. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's all
Another 100 acres from Los Angeles.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, they have a few acres.
I wasn't going to bring this up on the recording, but I feel like I deserve so much credit for the like saint-like restraint I've shown in the last couple days for not saying anything about the people of Los Angeles in this trying time, no matter how I feel about that city.
Yeah, we all wish Hollywood to recover from this terrible blow.
I really want to go out of my way to like not sound like a psycho or anything, because obviously, look, nobody should lose their homes. I feel bad for those people. I have a friend of a friend who's like, oh yeah, they have like a cousin or some shit that lives in the area or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, look at this like entire neighborhood of like $1 million homes reduced to like a smoldering pile of ash, and I just feel like, oh, that must be so hard for you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's rough. It's rough out there.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
What do you think about the LA fires, John? Please stake your YouTube career on this question.
I gotta carefully word this take. So, I have family in Los Angeles who have like had to evacuate and shit, but I think they're doing just fine now. So it's not like, anyone I know has had like their house burnt down, but
that's good.
I know there are definitely, people that I don't know directly, but like, friends of friends who have had like their houses destroyed. And like, I feel bad for them, and I just hope that they're able to bounce back from this, because they're definitely not like, it's definitely like not a inaccurate stereotype that some of those areas are very like well off, but there are also others that couldn't recover so well from like losing their entire house.
Yeah, from what I heard, like also like the big insurance company for a lot of homes there, they just canceled like 1,600 people's plans, like either right before or right after this happened. So like, sucks to be those guys. That's really unfortunate.
That sounds about right. I think we're gonna get like, I don't know, a Mario from this, if that's the case.
I feel conflicted because I was talking in a recent bonus episode. I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 for like a decade, right? And in that game, like you can have a little house that you can decorate, except they're very scarce. Very few people actually own a house in that game, and you have to actually enter the house like once every 45 days to like keep it. But the thing is, they'll pause that like timer where you can lose your house when there's like a natural disaster or something. And I saw just before we started recording today, a lot of people were really upset because like they recently paused the house removal timer for like 4 months or something like that because of the hurricanes in Florida, right? And they were gonna turn it back on like 2 days ago at the time of recording, on like January 8th or something. And now we've got the LA like fires or whatever, so they just paused the timer again, which I guess sucks for all those people. Works out great for me because now I can unsub from that game for like at least a couple more months before I have to pay for it just to keep my fucking bougie ass virtual property.
Yeah. Do you so you're saying that the LA fires and the hurricanes were man-made by an FF14 landlord who didn't have the time to go back into their house.
Listen, guys.
Once every 45
$50,000 can get you a pretty big commission. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There you go.
I mean,
there you go. Say no more.
I'm gonna take a wild shot in the dark here because I feel like this is probably something you've run into, John. Are you familiar with the Wonder Bread guy?
The Wonder Bread, like the guy who loves yeah, I think so. The guy who like has a fantasy of like white women buying Wonder Bread.
Yes, he is. Dave, do you know this character? Before I get into it,
Of course. Of course.
We love the Wonder Bread guy. Apparently his name is Merlogic1. I looked this up. So for those who don't know, Merlogic1, aka the Wonder Bread guy, is like, I don't know if he's still active. He was like a very notorious and like pretty wealthy art commissioner on like DeviantArt and I think maybe some other websites. A lot of very big popular artists on the internet got commissioned by him at some point, and he always asks for the same thing. He always wants people to make these illustrations of like blonde white women shopping in like a grocery store and just filling up a cart with like bag after bag of like plain white Wonder Bread. And that might sound really strange, and for many years I was like, oh, that's like a bizarre kink to be into, but do both of you know the actual reasoning behind the madness?
Oh, there's an actual reason?
Yeah, I don't think so. Go on.
So as I found out, not only does he commission that, he also commissions art of like forests being cut down and replaced by factories or whatever. And I think he's explained it before that he has like a capitalism / like industrialization kink where he is just like really turned on at the thought of like nature and like good wholesome things being replaced by like bland fucking like middle class suburban fucking Wonder Bread and like factories making like just fucking like grocery store slop or whatever. It seems insane, but like when you put it through that lens, I think it kind of makes sense a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I'd heard of the deforestation stuff. I'd seen some of that too from him. I just didn't know how it all tied together, but that makes more sense now.
That's incredible. That is incredible. Like what? I wanna know from like a psychological standpoint, like where does that fetish come from? There's a lot of talk about like why do people have like foot fetishes or like piss fetishes or something. Like those have been talked about for quite a while, but like the like destruction of the natural world due to capitalism, that's so specific that
I just, as you were describing this, I really wanted to just blurt out Hearts of Iron 4. I feel like this guy plays a lot of Hearts of Iron 4, but I don't know if that's this. I feel like it's gotta be one of those like hyper autistic like strategy like map games, right? But I don't know which one specifically.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that more. We're gonna need like a Harvard-trained psychologist on the board here to look into that. I want to know.
It's like
more.
We were saying to you before we started recording, John. I feel like this guy reminds me a lot of Cybersmith in the sense that like I feel like he's kind of half a troll, right? Like I definitely think there's something weird going on psychologically, but I think like he's got to be aware, right, that he's like a little like freak or whatever on the internet, and like there has to be some performative element to it. I'm sure he's hamming it up in some way, right?
Mm-hmm. Totally.
I mean, maybe that's part of the fetish, is that it's like owning the libs at the same time that I'm like fantasizing about like an even worse world than we already live in.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That he's just a very bizarre character. There was one more person I wanted to bring up, which I think maybe rounds out my my little pantheon of strange art characters on the internet. Are either of you familiar with a guy by the name of Andrew Dobson?
Andrew. Oh, the bear dude.
Fuck yeah.
The bear dude.
Yeah,
man.
Fuck yeah. I fucking love Andrew Dobson.
I also love him.
He's because like I used to be really into webcomics. Webcomics don't really so much exist in the way that they did in the in like the early to late 2000s.
They're
like,
better now.
Andrew Dobson.
They're better now, but they also lose that like weird darkness that everything had back then.
Yeah. Like that was the era of just like it's always some sort of like weird kind of like it's always, there's always self inserts in all of those, but it like the webcomic is usually centered around the author / artist's like personal kind of niche or community or interest. But Andrew Dobson was just like such a great example of that, just in the like the hilarity of all of the comic strips. Like the one that lives rent free in my mind forever is the one about like when he was at a con.
Yes.
And some guy is like, let me see those titties.
I'm just gonna link that image because
like,
I had this ready to go for you guys. I'll just put it on in our chat.
I want to see. I need to see it again.
And then he just like beats the shit out of the dude, like his like bear fucking fedora persona beats this guy up. And and the thing that makes that comic even better is like that somebody who was actually at that con was just like, no, none of this happened. Like there was like a booth girl and somebody like took a photo with her, and Andrew Dobson like,
it wasn't just a person, it was her boyfriend.
Yes.
Oh, right. Yeah. And he was sitting in his cuck chair in the corner just like seething about it. Like,
Yes, I'll put it.
If only she knew what a nice guy
I'll put it in the chat right now because it's extra funny. He's like way back there in the background, just like hunched over the table.
Yeah.
God, what's so crazy is like he saw what he thought was like some girl getting sexually harassed and like just decided to draw a comic of him beating the dude up. He didn't like do anything.
Exactly. This is how I'm going to enact justice in this thing that offends my morals. I'm just gonna sit here drawing my little comic.
In that exemplifies like this era of webcomics so perfectly, because it's all like it's like the person who like gets made fun of and then just like shits their pants and like falls down. And then, like, later, when they're taking a shower, they're just like, they just have some, like, mental fantasy about, like, them, like, saying something back to the person and absolutely owning them with their wit and logic. But, like, in this situation, instead of just, like, sitting in the shower and thinking about, like, what could have been, they can make it in some sense.
You gotta post it. You gotta keep posting to the internet.
By just making a like a shitty webcomic and be like, well, these losers, they're not like me, a nice guy and a white knight who stands up for women's rights, and I'm very strong. Also.
Yeah, it's so bad because, like, you know, you look at the times we live in nowadays and it's like, okay, if you think women shouldn't all just be like barefoot and pregnant all the time, oh, you're such a simp, you're such a white knight, you're such a cucklord or whatever. But like Andrew Dobson is like a type of guy that doesn't really like exist that much on the internet anymore, where he's like, no, I'm one of the good nerds. I'm gonna make it my whole shtick. I'm gonna be the guy who defends the miladies from being unduly sexually harassed, while I also draw like inflation porn comics on my burner account or something like that.
I mean, it's funny because like these guys are exactly the type of it's like the hashtag not like other girls thing, but it's also like the horseshoe comes full circle. They're exactly like the type of dudes that they like straw man, where they see women as some sort of like helpless and dumb object that they the mall ninja need to don their fedora, take out their katana, and defend from the jerks who beat them up in high school. Whereas the guys who they like on the other side of that are just like, women are all dumb, so I need to, like, just manipulate them into taking pictures of their fucking titties or whatever. I don't know. But Andrew Dobson, man, I fucking love this guy. He's so good. I love shitty webcomics so much. We need to
return to tradition, truly.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. And that's like that's kind of something I've thought about, is like social media kind of ruined like that era of like serialized webcomic in a sense, because like now a lot of webcomics, they're like meant to be like posted on Twitter or whatever and just like interacted with briefly, but we need to bring Andrew Dobson back. Andrew, we need you. We need you. I miss you.
And we need Andrew Dobson to come on the show.
Oh, that would be
Yes.
a dream guest, honestly. I would hear him out. I'm sure he's had enough time to sit there and think about what he did and also what he would have done if he was a little bear with a baseball bat or something like that.
What would he have done in the situation that he's been in before,
I think he just would have taken the bat and beat the shit out of everybody that made fun of him for drawing, I guess, inflation porn. I don't know. Why does it always come back to inflation porn? I feel like, I don't know, there's just a handful, and again, nothing wrong with any of these kinks, fetishes, whatever, but I feel like, I don't know, it's always like inflation, vor, and I don't know, there's probably a third one that always feel like it's at the root of just like everything that like people have considered like cringe or weird on the internet for the last however many years, you know what I mean?
Well, the new one is feet.
Yeah, but I feel
like that's been around for a while.
Like fucking Quentin Tarantino made movies where he like jerks off about the feet stuff. Okay, that's a little I hate to say it's a bit more dignified, but like it was in Hollywood, okay? I don't know, it's different.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if dignified.
I wonder if the third one,
it's a bit more mainstream.
Maybe this is your wheelhouse, John. I feel like the third one has got to be like Five Nights at Freddy's stuff, or like the internet horror fucking little video series. I think that might be this generation's equivalent to the shitty webcomics of the past.
Oh, probably. It's probably like so much stuff in like SFM that's very much that are very much like instances of like the writer's barely disguised fetish just on YouTube.
Oh man, SFM, I feel like history truly is like a flat circle. Everybody's been like losing their shit over the new Marvel Rivals game, which is basically just like superhero Overwatch or whatever. And I'm like, oh yeah, apparently it's a new fucking golden age of like Squirrel Girl videos on websites, and it just we're just stuck in 2016, man. I'm ready for time to start moving forward again, but it's not.
No, it's not. We're stuck in a time loop. It just keeps going on.
Yeah, it's rough out here, truly. Yeah, the other thing I was gonna say about Andrew Dobson, the more I look at his art, it kind of reminds me of I just want to check in because there's quite a few years between us. John, did you ever see like a book fair at school or something? Any of these like really hokey, like here's how to draw anime, how to draw a manga, like those sorts of books? You ever see these?
I would see those kinds of books, but I've never really been an anime guy, so I never like picked them up or like looked inside of them. But like I'd see them around when I'd go to like the book fairs that like my school would have.
Yeah, I never got into them either. Like I was into like drawing a little bit when I was a little kid as well. But I think something about those books put me off because, and this is going to be very mean and judgmental, but naturally being that age, there was like a weird horse girl in like my elementary school classroom, and she was like super into that stuff. So I was like, these books aren't for me. I can't be like that. No, I can't go down that road. And that kind of held me back. But one of the most notorious ones was it was literally just called How to Draw Manga by a British artist, I think, called Katie Coop, and I'm putting those covers in the Discord now. There was a second one, how to draw more manga. And for many years I was like, man, this is like webcomic tier. And it kind of shook me because it's like, one, I, you know, as someone who's a decent artist these days, I'm like, these books are not good. This is not gonna this is like they teach you wrong as a joke or whatever from that movie. But I kind of lightened up about it over time, because as I learned a while ago, apparently Katie Coop was like the daughter or something of like a guy who worked at like a publishing house or some shit, and she was only like 15 years old or something when these got published. It was like a little nepotism thing. So I'm like, okay, these books suck, but like I can only get so mad at like a 15-year-old being given undue attention for their mid artwork. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
And this is so like 15-year-old art style, for sure. But I like the first cover. It's very interesting how like there's at the bottom there's like the 4 bubbles of like the progression through the art, and it's like and they kind of like identify the 3D shape of the head in the first and second one, and then like they just make the most like flat 2D like unrealistic.
It's like painting on a balloon or
end.
something, you know.
Yeah. It's great.
The second cover kind of reminds me of like anime George Washington.
I think the character in the second one is from one of the like Dragon Quest games. It looks very like 80s or 90s like Toriyama, but like not good.
Yeah. And a lot of people hate on Toriyama. I like his he has very like distinct character styles. I think he's fine.
Oh man, this one is such a classic.
Yeah.
Anime George Washington.
I've never seen that before. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. You nailed it.
Oh, I'm trying to find another one.
Maybe it's the same. Maybe it's the same artist.
This one is actually not very. This one's not bad, like technical skill wise. But I think often of the fucking early 2000s anime emo girl, which was like, this was like everybody's fucking like profile picture on like shitty internet forums back when I was a little kid on the internet, and it feels weirdly nostalgic for me. But also it's not as bad as those ones, but it's also not very good.
Yeah, I mean it's fine, I guess. I don't know. Like my issue with like anime art styles is when they make it too kawaii, when they make it too. When the eyes are bigger than their hands, I think we need to like.
Oh, it's too moe for you. It's not very sugoi. That's not
that's
kawaii.
not sugoi. That's warui. That's sugoi janai.
Do you have any favorite Japanese words, John?
I don't know any Japanese words.
It's probably for the best. That probably that probably helps with the whole YouTube essay thing. I feel like you're a little inundated from some of the darkness of the internet by just not knowing in the first place.
Yeah.
I often feel like so much of the internet is like being like the protagonist in like an H.P. Lovecraft book. Like, you're better off just not opening that dark tome and learning the secrets inside. You're better off not knowing.
Yeah, I mean we've all learned from all of these fables, like the monkey's paw and whatnot. Like, you shouldn't when you get like a cursed item from like an antique shop, you shouldn't really fuck with it
unless it comes with a free Frogurt, which is also cursed.
True. Yeah.
Anyway, I think we're showing our age. That is most of what I had planned for today. Do you guys have any? Do you guys think we learned anything about DeviantArt or just stuff on the internet today? What did we get out of this?
I got out of this that Wonder Bread deforestation dude actually had like a known reason for it. Like
Yeah, there is a method to the madness.
Yeah, I always knew him as like an esoteric guy who would just like request these pictures, but whether it was like a kink or like just like some interest was completely lost on me. But now I know it's hyper capitalism fetish.
Yeah, no, he's not just interested in like regular fucking. He needs that high level abstract like society wide kind of fucking.
I want to know more about the Wonder Bread guy. That's what I've taken.
Maybe there'll be a part 2 at some point. I don't know. Anyway, this was fun. I'm not sure if I learned anything. In fact, I think maybe my day is a little bit worse. But regardless, it was a joy having you on, John. Thanks so much for coming.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, this was great.
Fuck yeah! But before we wrap up, do you have any last minute plugs? Anything you want to? I guess this is just your last chance. Plug your stuff.
Yeah, my YouTube channel is John X Woodcat. If you search up John Woodcat on YouTube, you'll find 2 channels. That John X Woodcat is the one I use now.
Oh, wait. So you're saying the other one is the
other one?
channel.
It's not a secret channel. It's just not one I use anymore.
Oh, okay. All right.
And if you search up John X Woodcat, Cybersmith Sonic inflation fetish on Midjourney, you'll get a really good image.
Try it on x.com, the everything app.
Yeah, grok that, everybody. Hit that up on Grok. You're gonna shit your pants.
Yeah, that.
And throw Wonder Bread in there too. See what happens.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll. I mean, it can only get so much worse, right? Anyway, that really groks my shit. Guys, thanks so much for listening. Let's do a quick shout out to the Patreons, the patrons, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah. All right. So the patrons in no particular order. We got Woke Baby, Trash Bins, Dimbus, Braid Zero, Weasel, Nick, Nilly, Heresy, Protagon, Clam, Trevor, Stilson, and Walker. Thank you all, as always, for your continued love and support. You will all be invited into Valhalla, and those of you who are not currently subscribed to the Patreon, you will burn in hell for the rest of your life. But I mean, like, until you die, so you still have some time. So
yeah, it'll be the cool Valhalla with Miles Morales as Thor, and we'll have a great feast of Wonder Bread for all of us.
Yeah, it's gonna be epic, folks. It's gonna be very, very
all right.
epic.
Thanks so much for listening, guys. John, I'm giving you the last word. Send us off.
Remember to eat your crusts off your Wonder Bread.
All right.
That's it, folks. You heard it here first. Eat the crust off your Wonder Bread, and good fight, good night.